Hey guys, welcome back to my F350 Detroit Swap. As promised, I said I'd do a cab off video for you, so here it is. I'll just run through some of the things I did to it. The cab's going down soon. I just have to do the tune-up, turn up the governor, and put the larger injectors in. But here it is sitting in the frame. Everything's handmade, all the mounts. The rear transmission cross member was moved back 4 inches to accommodate the length of the 453. So drive shafts, the front one was lengthened and the rear one was shortened 4 to 4.5 inches. But it's hooked up to the 5R110 that came with the 6.4 liter. So the adapter plate is made by me, and the crank adapter as well to mate the crank and the torque converter up. The frame accommodated the 453, but I had to notch out the cross member for the starter and the turbos. I'll show you on the other side for the shock tower for that. But it's plugged into the PCM on the Ford computer, and I've got 13 sensors plugged in for that the 6.4 used. And that's so that the transmission can communicate with the cab computer, and hopefully it'll shift well. All the accessories are off the 6.4 liter, so the front mounts are handmade again for the alternators and fan hub and power steering pump and all those things. AC is down here. To get the tach to work, I bought a product called Swap Helper, and I used this damper off the 453, our fan hub adapter, and I just notched it out for the Cummins style pickup. The oil filter is relocated to the front as the engine mounts and whatnot are interfering with it. I couldn't fit it in there. As well, I made a bypass for the blower, so it's got a natural blower on it. You really can't tell from this, but it's around 15 to 20% larger, well, longer than the turbo blower that was on it. So it aids in better performance in the lower RPMs. So the bypass is set up right now at 17 PSI, and of course it's fully controllable. I'll tune it once I get it on the road. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that and see what happens. So this is the cold air that's cooled from the turbo, goes through the intercooler, and then there's a 2-inch off pipe through this bypass valve that runs around under the oil cooler and then in back here. You can't really see it that well, but it's awfully cramped. The twin turbos again make it a little bit busy, but that's to aid in the performance of the engine. So I'm hoping that'll work really nice. The bottom one's a Borg-Warner K27, and the top one is a K31. So this comes off a Freightliner school bus, and this one off of a 60 series Detroit. The governor and controls are all stock. Only thing I'm going to change is turn up the governor to 3000, which I'll do in the next day or so. Fuel shutoff is, I'm just using an old fuel shutoff from a Cummins, and that's hooked up to my key so I can start and stop the truck from inside, just as it would be if it was a Cummins swap. Rear heater hose out, and that goes to the first to the Webasto heater and then up to my heater core. So the Webasto is all plugged in. I know some of you guys have been interested in that. And this is a water filter, coolant filter. And the transmission cooler lines, nothing's changed there. I just had to bend them, as well as the dipstick for the transmission had to be bent around to fit. And that's just bolted to my turbo. These cooler lines and stuff. Oh, the exhaust again. Getting to the exhaust is all made by me. I just used the 6.4 exhaust. I took out the internal double wall. I took out the internal wall and then used the outside 4-inch stainless, and I just welded it up to fit. So that was pretty easy. This is a 3-inch intermediate pipe from the K27 up to the K30. The jake heads. If I didn't have jake heads on this thing, it would have been a lot easier to do. But this is a afterthought, putting it into this truck. It was supposed to go into an old conventional style truck, but that changed. So that just about covers it, guys. Next is tuning and cab down and drive it out, and then road testing. So anyway, there you have it, guys. I hope you liked that, and I'll make another video when it's on the road. And thanks a lot, and take care.